Hello everyone, I hope you're doing okay. This video is addressing the difficult topic of what on earth do you say to someone close to you, perhaps a partner, when you're in a setback, you're in a tough moment, you're feeling waves of anxiety. How do you talk about anxiety, panic, whatever it might be, to someone close to you in a helpful, proactive way without making things worse, but also so they understand? So it's a tough thing for a lot of you to experience. I thought I'd keep it simple and just tell you what I did. What I used to say in many of my tough moments on the journey towards recovery. So I would simply say, look, I'm in a tough moment. I'm just allowing the anxiety as best I can. I feel a bit rough, but I know this will pass when it's ready. I know these feelings or how I feel right now won't last, and so I'm just doing my best, but it will pass in its own time. So just bear with me if I'm a bit withdrawn, if I go quiet, you'll know what's going on, but I'm ultimately going to be okay. It feels rough right now, but I know what I need to do. And you might say, look, it's great to have you around the house. It's great to have your company. That's great, but I don't need to talk about it. So we might be specific on what we need or what we don't need. Now, the thing is, if you've never watched one of my videos before, you might be thinking, how on earth can I talk so calmly about it? So if you don't understand anxiety, you don't know why you're in the state, watch all the other videos where I explain what anxiety is, why you're in the state, and what you need to do to recover, so that if you are experiencing a low mood, a setback, you have the knowledge to leverage in that difficult moment to step outside of yourself. You're able to call on this knowledge, call on your awareness, and almost speak in the third person about your situation. If you're extracting yourself just for a few moments to talk about yourself and say, look, I know I'm obviously quiet. I know you can tell I'm struggling, but it will pass. I just have to let it go through its cycle. The energy will eventually burn itself out and I'll be fine. So thanks for asking, but I'm okay. So your knowledge, all the practice you've done allows you to start to talk about this in a very neutral, matter-of-fact way. Now, there's nothing wrong sometimes with having a download. I'm really frustrated, I'm tired, this is annoying, will I ever recover? But I just encourage you to be mindful of who you're doing that with. For example, if you talk to a partner, a friend who doesn't really understand, and you go, oh gosh, my heart palpitations are going again. Remember, if you're in a setback, you're having a moment, you're feeling the waves of anxiety, you're a bit more vulnerable, you're open to suggestion or influence. We're more indecisive in that state. So if you talk about a symptom to someone who doesn't understand, you start talking about your heart palpitations or some other symptom, and they're like, "Oh, geez, your heart okay? Do I need to take you to a doctor?" Yet you know this is anxiety because you've had it many times before, but you can't resist their little so-called helpful suggestion. I'm sure they mean well, by the way. Then you're potentially opening up the door to start to get involved in the anxiety and take it seriously again. So I encourage you to be very conscious of who you're opening up to and when. A lot of clients consciously download to me because they know I'm not going to fuel their fire. Maybe you do have an understanding partner who knows what you need to do. And they go, look, you'll get through this. Yeah, it will pass. And so maybe that's a different scenario. But no matter what you're doing, at some point, it is important to get to a point where you can talk yourself through what is going on in a way that's aligned to the principles of recovery that I talk about in these videos. And it will help you with your practice and it will help you move forward in a positive way. It will help you not to take the anxiety so seriously if you can draw on this greater awareness, draw on the knowledge that you have, and start to talk about it as though it was me describing it to you. And that will give the person reassurance. We don't have to cater for all the needs. We're just describing you're acknowledging the suffering, acknowledging that it's tough, it's rough, you're feeling yucky, but you will be fine. And not always easy to say, but we know because the adrenaline, the energy fueling this current mood, tension will always dissipate. So we will always feel better. So it's true, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. And you're giving that person some understanding of what's going through. They can see your confidence. I remember at one point on my journey, someone close to me said, Sam, you've been suffering for a number of days. Are you sure you don't need to try to take some medication to get some relief? And they were coming from a good place. They didn't want me to suffer, but they didn't really understand anxiety. So I had to draw on all my courage and go, look, I know I'm suffering, but this will pass. It always does. I know what this is. This is the path for me to recovery. I know you mean well, but I know what I need to do and I will be fine. This will pass. And that was really useful. That was really useful for them to hear, but also for me to say and hear myself say. Didn't alleviate things straight away, but it started to really bolster my confidence even in a difficult moment. Um, so I hope that helps. Obviously, if you do need support, you know where I am to reach out to, but please share your suggestions of things that have helped you when talking about the anxiety state to others in those moments. I wish you all the best and hope to see you again here very soon. Take care.